Alright guys, obviously by the title of the video you know exactly what I'm going to talk about. The whole Tim Donaghy situation, the entire NBA situation that is established this week, and if you have paid attention to sports at all, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But for those of you who have not, let me try to explain it to you. Tim Donaghy, basically the guy that was accused for betting on games and whatnot, and who is facing up to 25 years in federal prison, has now come out this week and said that in 2002, two referees were told to extend a game to a seventh game, and by basically there was only one series in that year, or in that round, that went to 7 games, and that was the Lakers and Kings series. Now, obviously, if you paid attention to the media at all, every media outlet, every sports media outlet is absolutely bitching about how this was the single worst refereed game that they have ever seen, and if you watch the game and if you remember the game, you probably agree with them, because at the time I was only 12 years old, and I can remember everybody talking about how terribly refereed this game was. And even back then, before all this even came out, about how the possibility that the NBA had fixed this game. Now, there's two ways of looking at this, in my opinion. The first way is that Tim Donaghy simply pointed at this game and said, you know, this is the game that they fixed, you know, because it's a great example, because either it was fixed or it was just a terrible job of refereeing. So he's basically just jumping on the bandwagon of people who already think that that game was fixed and throwing fuel on the fire that has been there for, what, 6 years now. Or you could look at it in the way that that maybe the NBA really is fixed. And I don't believe that, but if you've watched any of David Stern's interviews this week, he simply seems scared almost. He seems extremely nervous about the entire situation. In all of his interviews, he does not seem confident whatsoever, and he seems to simply always point to the fact that Tim Donaghy is on you know, just doing anything he can, pulling at straws to try to get his sentence reduced. But I just simply believe that if you actually believe that, you'd be a little bit more confident in your interviews and be willing to talk about it a little bit more than a couple of sentences. I mean, just watch some of his interviews and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Do I think the NBA is fixed? No. Do I think the NBA was ever fixed? No. If I had to point at one sport, that if I had to pick one sport to say that that sport was fixed, I would say the NBA, simply because of instances like this. Is it possible that that one game they handed a lot of money to those two referees to get it fixed? It's very possible. If you watch the game, then you think it's very possible. But overall, I do not think the NBA is fixed. I think Tim Donaghy is full of shit, but maybe he's right, you know, maybe, I don't know. Simply because of David Stern's reaction, it makes me think, you know, maybe it's true. But leave a comment telling me what you think. That's what I think basically on the whole situation. One more video is coming about the NBA playoffs, probably about Boston winning it, because it looks like that's what they're going to do. That's it for now, guys. See you later.